Hi, this is a review video of the first graders about IBM's business. And here, while scrutinizing the machines, Kane records there was never a name, only assigned numbers. So here, scrutinize means investigating, right? Investigating. So Cale was investigating the IBM machine algorithm, and he remembered that there was never a name. He didn't see any name in the algorithm of IBM machine. There were only like assigned numbers. So IBM's technology aided Hitler in identification, marginalization, and attempted annihilation of Jewish people in the Third Reich. So I told you that aid means something like help. So IBM technology helped Hitler to identify the Jewish population and marginalization. So marginalization is something like isolation. So this technology used to isolate Jewish population from German society and attempted annihilation of Jewish people in the Third Reich. Also, they attempted total removal of Jewish people in the Third Reich and facilitated a tragic event of the Holocaust. So facilitate is quite similar to like begin. So this IBM technology was like beginning the tragic event of the Holocaust at this time. The people were being cataloged and murdered by the thousands. So this Jewish population were cataloged according to these numbers, and thousands of Jewish population got murdered, and Watson reaped larger capital as a result. Watson gained profit as a result of this census. And the devil's gold. Ever since Hitler came to power, the home ec proved to be worthy financial endeavor for IBM. So endeavor is something like effort. So IBM was proved to be a worthy financial effort for IBM ever since Hitler came to power. And 1933 was a remunerative year for IBM at home and abroad, as the corporation sourced a substantial income of $5,735,424 including subsidiaries. So remunerative here is used as like profitable. So this 1933 was really profitable year for IBM in the US and in Germany. So they earned 5.7 million US dollar, including all the subsidiaries, all the companies that they have. So Watson commented on the year, saying that December of 1933 was the largest December of the company's history. So Dr. Watson said that the December of 1933 was the largest period for the company's history. And with our new machines and increased number of salesmen, we have every reason to expect the increase to continue. And Dr. Watson said that he expects his business grow in the near future because of a new machine and because of an increased number of salesperson in the company. And the home ec continued to prosper through the 1934 and 1935 fiscal years. So the home ec just continued to grow the home ec's business. Watson stated that IBM's trade abroad is improving, but Reich legislation was perpetually adapting throughout Hitler's regime. So Watson said that IBM's business is keep on growing, and the German government was passed many law which is restricting the foreign companies' business in Germany. So IBM tax advisor Konrad Matzdorf even complained that IBM had a hard struggle to retain profit with the fascist authorities during the war. So Konrad is in charge of the tax management in IBM, and he complained. He complained that because Nazi government passed too many laws, it is difficult. IBM has a hard it is quite difficult for IBM to manage the business because this fascist authority, it refers to German government, which adopted a collectivism, which adopted nationalism. This fascist authority, they passed too many legislations, which is restricting the foreign business in Germany. So IBM had a hard time managing the company. So Reich regulation tax profit dividends severely. So so many Reich legislation, so many German law, it imposed huge amount of tax to the profit of the company and required any corporate profit to be obtained in Germany. They also, the Reich legislation, it made the profit impossible to go out of the Germany. So in search of a solution, Watson approached the Dehomag board ordering that money should remain invested in the firm and be credited to the license account, which is the royalties, as direct remittance are not possible. So remittance is like to send. So he says that they cannot really send this money. IBM, Dehomag cannot send money directly to the United States. So Dr. Watson ordered the Dehomag company to maintain the money inside the firm in Germany and put those profit under the name of the license account. So if you put those profit under the name of license account as a royalty, you don't have to pay the taxes for this amount of money. So Dr. Watson ordered Dehomag put this money under the name of license account. So the royalty money, this royalty or the license account, this payment were recorded as expenses. So it was considered as expenses. So it's not taxed by Germany. So the company can save some money. And Watson realized his strategy would not work forever. So IBM began investigating profit into Dehomag and German real estate. So Dr. Watson knew that his strategy of putting the money under the license account is not going to work forever. So IBM began investing profit into the real estate market. So IBM now starts by buildings and land in Germany. To create a German illusion, Willy Heidinger, Karl Hormel, and Hermann Rothke were named director of Dehomag branch. So Dehomag, they wanted to make the company look like a German company. So they hired Willy, Karl, and Hermann, and they made them as a director. So these Willy, Karl, and Hermann were all German citizens. So by making these people as a director of Dehomag, they could successfully make that Dehomag is a German company. But it was managed so the German would appear on balance sheets as owners, while Dehomag was completely controlled by IBM. No, in fact, in reality, Dehomag was completely controlled by IBM. It controlled by American company IBM, but on the balance sheet, they made these three people, Willy, Karl, and Hermann, as the owners in balance sheet, so making this company look like a German company. This action bolstered Dehomag German image. So bolster means support. So this action, hiring these three people as a board member, it support Dehomag to have German image to the Third Reich. So they made successfully that Dehomag looked like a German company to Third Reich, and also shaded IBM Nazi business from American citizens. And they, somehow IBM, they wanted to shade. They want to hide their business with Nazi government from American citizens. So by hiring these three people as their board members, they could successfully hide this business from American citizens. When war was declared September 1st, 1939, IBM struggled to stay within the Axis territories. So, the war broke up in September 1st, 1933, and IBM wanted to stay in the Axis territory. So IBM held millions in unallocated profit, and by integrating profit to stay in Germany, they hoped to be unaffected by the newly ratified Roosevelt trade legislation, General Ruling 11, which otherwise stymied American trade and Nazi Germany. So stymie means obstruct. So war began in September 1st, 1939, and IBM just held millions of money in the Germany as an unallocated profit. And by maintaining their money inside Germany, IBM hoped that their money, their profit, would not be affected by the Roosevelt trade legislation. This Roosevelt trade legislation, General Ruling 11, it obstructed American company having a trade relationship with Nazi Germany. So IBM didn't want to get influenced by this new legislation, so they just maintained the money inside the Germany. Business with the Third Reich required a Treasury Department license, but General Ruling 11 conditions would expose clandestine business activity and tax evasion strategies practiced by IBM. So clandestine means secret. So in order to have a business relationship with Nazi Germany, you need to have a license from Treasury Department of US government. And by reporting to the Treasury Department in order to have a license, you'd have to report all the information that you have about the secret business with the Nazi government, and you have to report all the information how you avoid paying tax to German government and American government. And IBM definitely didn't want to expose their information. They didn't want to open all this information about their business with Nazi government and about their tax evasion strategies. So IBM just maintained the money inside Germany and didn't move. So this placed IBM in a stalemate. Stalemate means stuck. So IBM didn't really move around the money, so they were stuck. So this ultimately enabled Nazi takeover of IBM. So Nazi government, they take over the Dehomag from IBM. So upon US entry into World War II, IBM lost autonomous control over Dehomag to the Nazis. So US entered the World War II, and Nazi government take away ownership of Dehomag from IBM, and Watson knew his investment was secure. Somehow, Dr. Watson, he knew that his investment in Germany was quite secure, so he should stay close to Germany. So Watson just tried to have a close relationship with German government. And under Nazi supervision, Dehomag prospered, posting 109,676,032 Deutschmark of return between 1941 and 1943. So even under Nazi control, Dehomag keep on making money and posting 109 million Deutschmark in 1941-1933. And Dr. Watson informed on success and received multiple memorandum and report. So Dr. Watson heard about the successful business story about Dehomag, and he received business memorandums, business report about the successful business Dehomag in Germany. And Nazi authorities moved IBM technology to farm in Poland, which supplied concentration camps. So Nazi government moved IBM to Poland, and from Poland, IBM, they supplied concentration camps. They managed concentration camps from Poland. After this intervention, it was perceived that all the Dehomag records were destroyed. So after Nazi moved IBM to Poland, it seems that they destroyed all the information that Dehomag had inside. So by 1944, IBM technology was being produced and distributed directly to Hitler's concentration camp. In 1944, IBM technology, They solely managed the concentration camp for Hitler, and the world was experiencing a time of havoc. Havoc is a chaos. So in this time, 1944, entire world was experiencing chaos and bloodshed. A lot of people lost their life, and Watson still sought to retain his financial stronghold, Germany. Dr. Watson still tried to maintain a relationship with Germany. So this is the end of the last time. So again, thank you for watching, everyone. So thank you. Okay, see you next time. Bye. Bye.